Yeah, so I guess before we get started, for everybody watching, this is another episode of Playing Lessons, and we have Let It Fly, who is currently number 3 in the world and has bounced in and out of first place, I think, a couple of times this season. Um, so yeah, we're gonna play around. We're gonna ask him some questions, kind of pick his brain, and kind of see how he's able to do some of the stuff he does. And more importantly, I remember the last one of these that I did. Um, there was a big controversy when I did the one with the whales, and like everybody was, uh, calling people cheaters. Like I got a lot of it back when I was number one in amateur, and Wales was number one at the time, and just some nasty stuff people would see. And so, you're about to get to see Let It Fly play around here and let him show you that this is no joke for anybody that questions what he's able
I'm
to do.
ready. Ready. Been looking forward to this one for a while, so glad to make
Good,
it
yeah.
happen.
Hopefully, I can keep up here.
Have gotten my fair share of some nasty meta DMs, so
Oh, have you?
I've gotten a few. Not a lot, but enough to be like, oh really? But can't really think about it. It's a fun course. I'll say that they just released it.
Yeah, that's why I figured we'd play it just in case people hadn't seen a whole lot from it.
Yeah, it's fun for sure. Oh, pressure's on. I pulled it. Catch the hill. Catch.
I was gonna say catch the hill.
Oh wow! Usually get away with it, but try to cut a pitching wedge and there, just didn't cut.
Oh, I think that was a dead shot. Is it gonna get there? No.
If it hits the hill.
Oh no, it felt like it came off a little dead. I get that every now and then.
Yeah, you really only need a couple more yards out of it. And
Oh, didn't want to go that far to the left.
that's what the fun part about this course I love is that you get so creative on shots and on putts and playing hills and everything. So I tried to drop one.
Yeah, this one's gonna swing pretty wild.
Oh yeah, I see it. No, I didn't hit it. Didn't get it there. Well, I did. Dang, just didn't get high enough.
Yeah.
Holy.
When I've actually played this one a few times, and I've learned you almost have to hit the ball damn sideways and let it fall down.
Hot start. Wow. I don't think I've played these hard pins yet. I don't have a score on it. It's all right.
Oh, got one in.
Love bogey in the first hole. Just means it's only uphill from here.
Oh yeah. Can relish while I have the tee box here.
Just trying to weed out the haters to start commenting. Oh, dude, it's cheating.
Oh, don't go too far left.
That's fine. You can play that hill.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh,
Sit.
stop.
Yep.
Okay, that'll work.
Shot.
Yeah, I always try to go a little to the left, but that was a little more left than I wanted to, but it worked out.
Any little bit of wind up there gonna touch it?
It's going right at it though. Of course, he almost makes it. Because of course he does.
That'd have been crazy to get to one under that way.
Yeah, no kidding.
This bird. It's fun. Yeah, make sure some really creative shots here.
Yeah, so one question I noticed, I see this actually a fair amount between you and I see it with Shock, I see it with King, I see it with C3. You guys have more than normal, I would say, DNFs in the dailies. For example. And I remember one daily I was playing and I played it and I looked down there and like all you guys, all four of you were down there with DNFs. So like what happens? Why did something happen with the game and you just don't bother trying to get a chance to reset it or what?
No, like just a lot of times, honestly, like we'll get going and I can't speak for Shock I think I can speak for Shock. I know how he thinks. But honestly, like I use it as more of just like a warm up kind of thing. Like I don't have all the time in the world to play, and when I get on, it might only be for a couple rounds, and I might have things I want to do, and so it's usually like when I start up playing those rounds, the dailies, it's usually my first swing of the day, and it's just get through a few holes, get through a couple pars, and you're like, well, I'm not really gonna contend or anything, or I'm not gonna go for it. And it's the points are minuscule in the grand scheme of things, so it's just I pretty much use it as warm up. A lot of times I'll get on and I'll play 4 or 5 holes maybe of the daily, and then it's like, okay, I'm ready to jump in the weekly, and then I'll jump in the weekly and I'm ready to go. So that's pretty much all it is.
Well, speaking of the weekly, I saw you had a DNF in this week's weekly. I mean, not that it's going to hurt you being up at the top of the leaderboard, but
I have not experienced anything like it before, where it felt like Murphy's Law, where it's just you go over to St. Andrews and you can look at every single group and be like, where do you not want to be on this hole? And that's where I was. I was catching pot bunkers. I'd be on flat parts of the green, but I'd somehow find a side breaking putt, and it was just first hole I went in the water and I double bogeyed the first hole after like a chip shot, like wasn't even on my first shot. I chipped it up and like a little 60-yard pitch, and I just left it a mile short, and I actually thought to myself, I can't remember the last time I double bogeyed in a weekly. So it was a great shot.
Dang.
Yeah, like you said, like the points don't really like, I don't want to say they don't matter, but they it's just fall season, and
well, I know you've won.
It's kind of that period of golf, so it's
I know you've kind of won. I think you've won at least a couple, maybe more weeklies already. So yeah, you're not going to be sliding anywhere really.
Yeah. I mean, there's a big gap between the between like C3 and King and me right now, where them two are up at the top. I don't even really look at the season so much as I look at more at the world rankings and see like that's a more accurate representation of what the outlook is on the tour right now.
Yeah, I noticed. I think it was like I don't know. It was like King was up at like 22 and C3 was at 18. You're at like 14 and then like 4th place, which I think is Topher.
Wow.
Is it like 9,000? Yeah. There's like a 5,000 gap between you and
it's
you and
it's the first two, and then it's me, and then it's Topher. But Topher did his thing where he's doing no power assist, so it's if Topher was playing like he normally does, he'd be up there with the rest of us as well.
Oh my gosh! Yep, and that's what happens. Of course, I'm half paying attention to the round and talking to you at the same time. Anyway, all right, finally took you 4 holes. Yeah, the tee box. What's wrong with you, man? So this hole is a good one to ask the question that I like to ask. What is your opinion? So I see you've got. I mean, of course, I know you didn't want to be in the sand there, but 30-yard, 40-yard, 50-yard shot. What's your opinion over that? Like a lot of people might on this hole, like say take a 3-wood so they could have a full club.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm a big proponent of just hit it as far and as you can, and I like the 40 and 50-yard shots personally. I feel like it depends if you're I'll never pass up like a 40 or 50-yard shot for a full shot. That's not kind of how I think, but I'll pass it. Like I'll play angles more. Like if it's tug or if it's a tight pin from one side, I'll aim in another side. And but no, these 40-yard should go out of the sand. It's a different story. This is, in my opinion, the hardest shot in the game.
Oh, 100%.
40-yard bunker shots.
And you did it. You did it well
on the green. I'll take that. Yeah, so I was bunker on the course, and I found it. So
I mean, I guess at least you kind of answered my next question. I was going to be like, does pin placement ever determine what you do from the tee?
I wouldn't say this necessarily, but there are some the firm courses where the ball's not going to spin as much. Like if I'm playing a course like Sawgrass or East Lake, and there's one hole specifically on East Lake that you go fairway goes down the hill and then you come back up the hill and it's a 2-tiered green and that pin could be tucked sometimes. Where I'll deliberately hit it in the rough just so I can take spin off my wedges because I know like if I have a full shot with a wedge, it's going to spin off the front of the green.
Yeah, there's a par 4 at Yale when it's set to pro greens, and I do that where I drive it in the rough. It's that one that goes way uphill to the green. That like if you're in the fairway with less than a 7-iron, like you can't not spin it all the way back off the green.
Yeah, the one where it's just kind of, and then you got the big bunkers short of it.
Yeah, it's like 360 yards, and like it's just got rough up the left and the right. So I just, depending on where the pin is, I just aim at the rough on either side so I can have a wedge that'll stop versus spin back.
Yeah, oh for sure. But no, that's these pins like it doesn't really determine what I do off the tee club wise. It may determine what I do, like what kind of lie I try to give myself more than anything. Yeah, putts are rolling today.
Yeah, I was gonna say when it when it comes to putting, how much does feel play into it for you?
It's everything. It's completely everything. It's just honestly just practice. Like I don't practice anymore, but I just kind of play it. But just playing it by ear and just one thing I try to tell people that like ask about it is they say the biggest thing for me was recognizing, like understanding like when you miss a putt, why did you miss a putt? And did you misread it? If you misread it, what can you take into account for the next shot, for the next putt? And just kind of learning that sense and just learning from experience is the big thing. It's everything. There's some technical stuff that I do, but it's more just equipment wise where I use, and I remember talking to you about it. I use the mallet putter. I'll use, I pushed that really bad. Use a putter with the line on it. I use the Callaway.
He uses this one right here for anybody who's looking.
Yeah, same one. I use the Callaway like triple track, and it really just kind of helps line up like straight putts. And I'll try to see like the lines and everything. Like on this one, I'm just understanding like it's really not going to do much the first third of the way, but then it's going to fall off to the left, and then it's going to flatten out. But long is dead, and you got to get up the hill. This is a tricky pin. Try to play some break to lag it up there, and I can't ever be mad with tapping pars. That's the big thing. Like when my game is on, it's because my putter's on.
Yeah,
it's because I'm rolling in putts like it's nobody's business, and just have extreme confidence with the putter off, like from anywhere inside like their feet, and then just feel like I can make anything and everything. That's what separates it. I think I put in the Discord. I did the math on. I took it from your website. I took putts inside of 10 feet in my last 100 rounds, and it was like 94%. And
yeah,
that's best putters on the PGA Tour, like Sam Burns, he's like 90%. A lot of players are around like the 89%. So it's, over time those stack up. And but if you look at best players, what they do differently from everybody else is their approach shot of money, and they can putt lights out. That's where it's won. Oh, I may have just put it on it.
Yes, you did. For some reason, mine came out really short again.
It's a good lag putt.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
Straight up the hill.
Oh, yeah.
I see that you do all the course previews and all that stuff. You post all your dailies. Do you have a favorite course? Like, give me like your top 5 game right now.
Oh my gosh. I actually really like this one. To be
It's
honest.
fun.
Yeah, it's
Maybe a little recency bias in there, but
I mean, I would say this one. I I really do like the St. Andrews. I feel like I've learned to play it decently well. Uh, Probably Bay Hill,
oh
Sawgrass, and Harbortown. I think would probably be my picks.
wow, okay.
Oh, what is that doing? Okay. Wow, still my turn putting for par. All right. Turn back in. Come on, ball. All right.
All right to
What about
left,
you?
not too much.
What are your favorite ones?
I have 2 right off the bat that I love. I love Valhalla. It's one of the first ones in the game, but I live about 2 hours from Valhalla, and it was really unbelievable to get to. I went to a practice round of GA last year when it was out there, so after playing it in the game, it was super, super cool to go out and just walk the course and see it like with my own eyes. I'm like, I know exactly what it's going to do just from playing it in this game, and just gave me knowledge that I would otherwise had going into it if I didn't play it. So that was really cool. I love Valhalla. Just there it is local and everything. And then Bethpage, I put it 1 and 2. I put them 2 interchangeably because I got to play it in summer with the Ryder Cup and with the stands up. So it was really cool to watch the Ryder Cup after playing it, and so those 2 just stand out just personal experiences. But
Well, actually, I think I'll
Bethpage is
I
fun to
think I'll
play.
go back and swap out Sawgrass for Bethpage. I've forgotten about Bethpage because I played it so much during the Ryder Cup that I forgot.
Yeah,
I haven't played it like since then.
yeah, yeah. I put those 2 up top easily, and then I don't really have. I don't know if I have clear cut favorites, but I like the courses that have hosted major tournaments,
Yeah.
as opposed to just tour events. So I'd put like Pinehurst up there. Um, let's see.
Well, see, Valhalla for me is like what you described on St. Andrews earlier, where I called it for the longest time. I've called it my nemesis course because no matter what I do, I just can't seem to shoot well there. Like maybe
Yeah,
one time out of 10. And I think
yeah, it's tricky, man. It's
oh, stop ball. All right.
so,
And I think what was it? There was one other course that came out that was doing that to me. Uh, but yeah, it was like I could be like 10 under through 8 at Valhalla, and then like I would finish up at like 6 under. Like it would
yeah,
just be like, oh, you're doing too well. We
yeah,
can't have that.
yeah. No, it was very. I don't know. It was neat because like after playing it in game and then being there like when they had one of the VR tour events there and I won it. I was like, I don't really take those wins really like the end of the day, like it's a video game and everything, but getting to win there, I was like, okay, that was pretty cool. So like I've been at this course, I've seen it, I've so it was really neat getting to watch the pros play it, and that was really my introduction to pro golf and seeing how the pros play and thinking, okay, they play a different game than the rest of us hacks.
Yeah, it's funny because like even watching it on TV, like a pro will hit that putt to like 30 feet, and I'll be like, oh, that's a nasty right to left breaker.
Yeah,
Because like
seriously.
I've been there, I know this.
Yeah. I watched hole 3. Hole 3 is like tucked in the back of the property. It's a par 3, and I saw Victor Hovland and Dustin Johnson playing together in a practice round. And I watched Victor Hovland stuck a 7 iron from like 206 and put it to like 6 feet. I was like, okay, that is ridiculous.
Yeah. Like that's almost impossible to do in the VR
Yes.
game, much less real life.
Yeah, seriously, with a 7-iron, I'm like, holy. Yeah. Pebble Beach is fun. I feel like I can score at Pebble. Put that up there. Plus, it's a classic. And then I really like Portrush for whatever reason. I like the layout of it, but any course where you can kind of get creative and get to try different shots, take different routes. So like the Telluride courses are fun. I think that's what makes this course so much fun is just how creative you can get. It's not cut and dry. Like there's some courses like Murrayfield Village or Quail Hollow, really, for example, where it's.
Yeah, I just don't know if I could truly pick out like a strict top 5. Like I do love Muirfield Village as well, but I mean I've been watching golf since I was, I don't know, as long as I can remember, right? And watching all these courses on TV and all that stuff, and you know, like I love playing on Quail Hollow because I've been there several times. I haven't played it in real life, but I was there at 2017 when Justin Thomas won the major, and then I was back there in was it 21 or 22? And it's you know, it's I know the course and it's nostalgic, but it always beats me up for some reason. But I like it for that. So it's not in my top 5 from that perspective, but it definitely is you know, a course that I like, and I like the Telluride courses. They're fun to play, right? They're not my favorite or anything, but they are fun to play.
Yeah.
And if you get going on those courses, you can go low.
Oh, for sure. For sure. It's yeah, that's you can you can take so many different lines, play so many different hills and all that stuff. You can that's what makes it fun. That's what attracts me. The courses are fun too. And I think I saw on the website on kind of what's coming, they have Tobacco Road I saw on there. North Carolina.
That'll be cool.
And then Royal Dornoch is coming.
Oh, nice.
I think that's how you pronounce it. But I think it's really interesting they're adding this one, then those two. They're adding a lot of public courses to the game, which I think is really, really cool. Because I think the best part about playing it is kind of getting to relate to different positions and see the course in game, and then going and playing it in real life, and it brings a different feeling into it. Like I can remember, like when I played Bethpage, it was already in the game, and I'm like, I appreciated it a lot more after playing it in game.
Oh yeah.
Oh shit! I tried to blast out of that waste. I think that's what makes the games super, super cool is getting to play some of these places and that you have no other way to kind of getting to experience the game, getting to experience golf in a completely different way. Like it's not realistic. I'm not gonna go out to Pebble Beach and shoot 10 under, but I can feel like I can kind of talk to myself like how a pro would with talking through shots and this, that, and the other. So I think that's
you'd at least know where you need to go. Going that direction is a whole other question.
I pushed it. Oh, for sure. They've done a great job with the game. Even I think I picked it up about 2 years ago, and now it has ballooned into what it was 2 years ago.
Yeah, I think I picked it up in like January, February of last year. Oh, good Lord. Okay.
Yeah, this course is pretty short for the most part, except they got about 3 or 4 holes that you're like, this could compete for difficulty-wise, like number 2.
Yeah, you know, the one thing I've noticed, about this, oh, you stupid ball. That's a really good shot, too.
Oh, yeah.
Now, what just happened right there is actually pretty rare on this course, I think. But like, that's the kind of thing you get on Pinehurst No.2 all the time. Like, their fairways fall off. So like, if you get within a yard or two of the edge of the fairway, there's a real good chance you could fall off.
Yeah, yeah, you make a good point there. And especially in the game, I think like what makes it different is, and what makes the scoring average a lot easier is one, the putting. If tour pros could read these contour lines, they might never miss a putt. Like it's that, but like just the consistency with lies, where like if I hit one in the rough, I have the same number that I'd hit every time. Like there's no variability with it, and there's no questions about it. And so I'd like to see something implemented about that. I think that'll make the game a lot tougher if they can figure it out. Like how TrackMan has like this will be 75 to 85%. Then you got to kind of play the numbers there.
Yeah. So I mean, that leads me to another question. When it comes to, let's say, say you got a 175 yard shot out of the sand or waste or rough. I know, like from the rough, like for me, it feels a lot. It's a lot of muscle memory because we play so much, and it may be the same for you. But in those weird lies, like you're in the waist, or a longer bunker shot or so. Do you have like math you run in your head, like and go, oh, well, I'm going to adjust for this much for the uphill and downhill, and then this much for the wind direction, and then this much for the lie? Like, or are you more of a, I think it's going to do this?
I kind of know kind of like what my numbers are going to do. And like when I read a number out of kind of like from anywhere, you look at the elevation change. Nice spot. Look at the elevation change and what it's going to do, and figure out a number from there. Like if it's 130 yards, but it's playing 30 feet down the hill, I'm going to play it as a 120 yard shot. But the wind, like on low wind, I won't really think about it as much. I'll start. I'll look like it's different. It's different for every course because you have to figure out kind of where the trouble's at too. And I try to think like, where do I not want to miss? Like, where would I be fine with my ball being if I don't get it or it doesn't go how I think or how I want it to do? And like if I have, like, for example, 15 at Bethpage where you got the big loom bunkers that sit 30 feet in the ground in front of the green, and I have 100 yards in on a tucked pin right behind the bunkers, but I have a little bit of headwind, I'm probably not going to go my 100-yard sand wedge just out of risk that I end up in those bunkers. I might try to cut a gap wedge in there and be okay with being a little long and just play it from there and try to give myself a good putt.
Yes, I guess that's another question. One thing I've noticed that that a lot of the great players do is they have, like, even from the same lie, like a say you had a 140-yard shot, like you could get you could hit a pitching wedge there, you could hit a 9-iron there, or you could make an 8-iron work, right?
Yeah.
If you had to. So I guess I'm asking if if that's the kind of stuff you do. Do you have multiple shots in the bag? Like you said, sometimes you might be like, oh, I'm gonna take more club but cut it, or I'm gonna take less cut,
I'll cut clubs. Or... Yep. Like if I'll cut clubs, I'll try to muscle up an iron if I think I can get it there and hit it low where it'll run out much. But like just like this shot example, like I just think this is a good one to kind of showcase. Like you have pin on the left, and you have all kinds of rough to the left side down here. And I 238 playing 10 feet downhill, so it's playing like 235-ish, give or take. Tiny bit of headwind. It's not really going to do much, but look on the right side. You have this giant hill, and my eyes light up. I'm like, more so just look how fun it would be to play this hill.
Yeah, that's actually what I try to do on this one. I try and put it out to the right, and I mean, I usually wind up like right, because it's not going to come all the way back to the hole, but I usually run it like right around here. If I can catch the red, it'll stop about here or here, somewhere in there. But I mean, I would take a 30-foot
putt from right here all day long.
Every day.
Sign me up. So it's just playing that. I try to play for birdies, like especially on par fives. I don't really play for eagles. Eagles are just kind of an added bonus. But yeah, these holes, it's just like, how can I make my next shot as good as possible? So I'm just going to cut, miss the hill, but
If you get the
I
distance, that
missed
might
it
actually
less.
just run up
Oh, I
that.
caught that, hit the upslope.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's kind of one of those. Yeah, I'll do it that way, but then
Yeah, I mean but like if I were to aim at the pin like that and think like I'm just gonna go pin hunt and I pulled it like that, that's a very tough shot to kind of get up and down for birdie.
I'm going right
That's
at it. If I can do what
money.
you did.
That's money.
Oh,
Go.
it didn't get up there.
Oh
Oh,
no.
it's coming back down. Oh, see, I know I was aimed down the right hand side, but I was like, man, if that had got up there like another foot, that would have been awesome.
I felt like me every single shot at St. Andrews. I felt like I was just at the top of a hill and it would just come back. I'm like, oh my gosh. Just
Oh, I don't think I hit that hard enough, or did I? No.
But I did notice this week more than other weeks, especially with the tour, is that there's a lot of people that, because usually it's just me, King, and C3 at the top three, and you're just kind of looking to see what they're doing. But there's a few other guys in there that have played really well. That I think it's really good for the game when you can have like 8 or 9, 10 guys that can compete to win a weekly, because it just makes it that much more fun and that much more competitive. And I think it's great. I think there's some things they could do with the tour. We're coming up on 2 years now where
Yeah, pretty much.
they've been doing it where they kind of just introduced it and was like, this isn't the final version, but they haven't really done much different to it. So it's
Yeah, but when you think of a game like this that has, staying power, like nowadays people come out with these games and then they do seasons for like 5, 7, 9 years, like there are games that are, like 10 years old now that they're still releasing like new content and new seasons for and all that stuff. So when you think about it, like you think of 2 years of, I mean, I would say this is what Golf Plus has probably been pretty much what it is for right at about 2-ish years.
Yeah.
And that's
right around the FedEx Cup in 23 is when they introduced the tour, and it was right when I was getting in the game. But
but I mean that's kind of in the infancy of the game. I mean, like if we're talking about say 5 years from now and what all they're able to do with the game,
yeah.
you might be looking back and go, oh man, they went a lot. They did a lot in 2 years and then turned it into what it is.
Yeah, I mean they've done a lot just even in their 2 years. Like I remember, I think a lot of times people forget because it's just been in the game now for a year and a half. But when they released Scramble, that was a big deal when they released Scramble mode.
Yeah, it certainly was.
People have been asking for it for a long time, and that was like their golden goose of stuff. But I just think that there's a lot of stuff they can do creatively to kind of grow the brand a little bit more. They're doing a great job, but like for example, like they did the match play, bracket play thing back in March, where they had like 8 of us and they filmed it and they were making like the creation thing, like the ability. I think you guys used it for the Ryder Cup, but the ability to kind of stream matches and I mean we did it for that, but it was in March and we haven't heard anything about it since. So, but the content creation cam, I'd imagine for you, it's been a lifesaver.
Yeah, the funny thing is I don't really use it that much because, I mean, let's look at what we're doing here, right? This is called playing lessons. I'm picking your brain for like the folks that aren't as good as you are, maybe learn some things, see your shots and all that kind of stuff. And I feel like the creator cam is more to like if I wanted to show off what I'm doing. But I like the first person view so people can see my screen, they can see what I see, they can see the yardages, they can see what clubs I'm choosing, how I put my club down to the ball and all that kind of stuff. And hopefully folks can learn some stuff.
Yeah.
But you don't get that on the creator cam.
Yeah, that's fair. But for the people that might be watching that, that are maybe starting the game or trying to find something out of the game, like if I give one piece of advice, just play the game how you want to play it. Figure out what brings you joy in playing the game. And like for me, joy, like I like competing. I've been in sports my whole life. I like competing and being competitive and playing with, I don't know, like playing with a little bit of pressure and it's fun. But some people, they like to come out and they like to play amateur. They like to play novice. Play the game how you play it and figure out how you can get better at the game, because it'd be like Scotty Scheffler kind of going out and saying like, oh, here's what I do. You should do it too. And it's like, and nobody plays it like Scotty Scheffler. And it'd be even like a weekend hack going up to you, be like, oh, this is what I do. Like, you should do it like this, and figure out kind of how your ball moves, how your club, like what your clubs do. Your wedges might spin a lot more than my wedges, you know?
Yeah.
I end up playing with a lot of people whose drivers they fly at 40 yards further than mine. And but figuring out how you play the game is.
Well, I mean, that's another thing I was gonna bring up for anybody who's watching this and watching both of us off the tee. We're pretty similar, in yardage, and neither one of us are those big hitters. You know, we're hitting it 320, 330 off the tee. We're not flying at 360, 370 in the air like the folks who, you know, if you put it down to, what was it, zero power
I think they
assistance,
put it down to zero, but they just got the controller. They just whip it through.
Yeah, and they could just whip it through and get that 100. And I think because I use the 100% power assistance, and I know the main reason for me is that if I didn't, like, I'd probably hurt myself.
Yeah,
right? Trying to swing something so much lighter than a real than a real golf club. So I'm like, no, I'm sometimes I might want to play 4 or 5 rounds in a row, and I don't want to, like, have to come out of it and be taking some naproxen and rest for 2 days. But yeah, so that was both you and I. Do you use 100% power assistance as well?
I use 80 on my driver. I use 100 on. Pull it up. I use 100 on all my irons up to. So driver I have 80. I might even drop it down more just to get more creative with shots and cut shots on short par 4s or from the front tees. But 3-wood all the way down through 9-iron is at 100%. But then my pitching wedge, gap wedge, sand wedge, and lob wedge, I just kind of, like, I got 60 on my pitching wedge, but then I put 75 on the gap wedge. For whatever reason, I can't hit the gap wedge 120. It doesn't carry that far, even though it says 120. But that's kind of like where it stems from. Figure out how you play the game and figure out how your clubs, like, figure out what your clubs do, because it varies by person. I think that's what is great about it, is there's no uniformity in it. But my lob wedge, I have it at 0% because it's those little touch shots. So.
Now, are you controller or do you have an attachment?
I got an attachment. I got the Ezra on the Quest 3. I recommend.
That's exactly what I use.
I like the Deadeye. I had the Deadeye on the Quest 2. Tried it for the Quest 3, but I wanted something with a little bit of weight on it. So I got the Ezra, and I love the Ezra so far. I've had it for probably since February.
Yeah, I've had the Ezra pretty much my entire.
That doesn't break right there.
Playing career.
I hammered it. Still me. Yeah, I know a lot of people. Deadeye and Ezra kind of have a monopoly on the market. But I know some people use like a 3D printer. I had one guy that sent me like he wanted to try out to see, like, to try to buy it, and it just wasn't for me. But I know some people, like, a lot of people love it, and people buy them on like Etsy and stuff, and it's been cool to kind of see how it's ballooned. Like, I'll see videos on like TikTok or something like that of some guy playing the game or trying to sell his attachment, like, in the TikTok shop, and
that was a good shot. Okay.
Oh yeah. Are you the new version, that version 81 or whatever they got?
Which version?
On the like the meta, like on the meta set, the version 81.
I don't think so. I think I'm still back on 79.
Yeah.
And I a long time ago I turned off the auto updates.
That's smart. Oh, that's got to get down. That's got to get down quick.
Oh, if that hits that little hill, it's going straight left.
Yeah.
Oh, you missed it.
That's it. Oh, it's going to go back.
Yeah, that'll probably go off, but that's
still a putt. Still a putt. What's that? I mean, 260-yard par 3. I'm not looking birdie. So.
Oh, I'll pull the crap out of that one.
I'm gonna give you a line here.
Yeah.
So like going back to your question, like on putting, like I'm looking at this and everything is just feel. I start kind of from the beginning here. I know there's no lines right here, but what's it going to do early on? I'm understanding that to get up the hill, I'm going to have to hit it a little harder. So these breaks right here aren't going to have as much of an effect as it does these later on. And then it goes sharp to the right. So I'm looking, I don't even really look for a spot. I just kind of look and feel. But if I were to pick a spot on like where I was going to play it, I'd probably say like up here and just try to get the ace right on and just leave myself a tap in par because this is, like I said, it's not, I don't really look at this and say, oh, this is a birdie hole.
No, this is definitely one of those holes
And I
where
pushed it.
birdie would just be a bonus.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, did I hit that too hard?
Hang
Slow
on.
down, slow down, slow down. Oh, my goodness. All right.
I fall victim all the time to being too stubborn. I'll look at the shot and be like, oh, I pull this off. And then being like, why'd you try that?
I just take my double and get out of here. Yeah, I mean, it all started with the dead shot. I don't know. I mean, I get those sometimes. Not worried about it in this round, obviously, but
yeah.
I get
But if
those
it was
sometimes.
like a week thing. I haven't had one in a long time. It's fun. Oh, good number, Ed.
We'll come there right with you. A little behind you. Oh, actually, I kind of like this number too. This is
So let me ask you, like, what do you think about on this shot? You got 111, I think, playing pretty much even. You got a little bit of downwind, but not much. What are you looking for on the shot? Like, what are you looking at, like with the pin? And
I mean, I got a wedge,
everything.
and I know it's gonna spin back right. So I got to avoid this front part. Like I don't want to come down this red. So I'm basically hitting this 121 yard gap wedge full. And
okay.
And probably a little left of the flag, maybe, but I'm gonna try and hit it full because I know it'll pull back. I just need to go. I know I need to go past the pin, but like you said, I can never get it to go the full 120. So I'm just like, if it'll just go like 116.
That's what I was thinking. That's when you said that. That's what I was thinking.
Or I'm gonna go right at the damn hole. Yeah, I mean that's that is the play. I actually pushed that a little bit, but that was the play. It went about 115.
Yeah,
came back a little bit. That's about all I can get out of that 120. I mean, unless I like hammer down on it and try and like hit it low or something. I mean, I can get creative, but I lose a lot of control.
Yeah, for sure. Like I'm kind of in the same boat. I got 9 yards, my 100-yard sand wedge. I know it's not going to go more than 100 yards normally, but with a little bit of downwind, it might go 101, 102. But even 101, 102 puts me back. Hitting it like right here, with it being firm conditions and a little bit downwind, it's not going to spin like crazy. If I was, say, 105, this makes the shot a whole lot more difficult because then I can't cover this. I try to cut a 120, try to land it back here and spin it with a 97.
Yeah, if I had 105, I'd just put the gap wedge in my hand and not do too much of a different shot, but maybe just relinquish the fact that I'm probably going to be putting from back here, you know.
It didn't spin. 101. But I still have a 13-foot, pretty relatively flat birdie putt. I wanted that one. I can't believe that broke like that.
Ooh, I thought mine was going to break.
Nice birdie.
That was straight as an arrow, basically.
I need to get some circles on this back nine, man. I tore up that front nine after that bogey and just not been able to get anything rolling right now. Also doesn't help. You got 636-yard par 5 and 280-yard par 3. And
So one question I want to ask you to see if you kind of feel the same way as I do. Um, early on when I would play, like I would always hate when I had to have like a 5 or 6 iron in my hand, right? Because I would always be, no telling where I would be,
Yeah.
right? And I was like, oh, I hate hitting those clubs. But now they don't scare me in the least. Like you can give me 197 yards. I mean, obviously, I'd probably prefer 150, but like you give me 197 yards, with a 5 or 6 iron, and I feel pretty confident
Yeah.
with it. But that hasn't always been the case. I'm wondering if you feel the same way.
Yeah. For me, it was a 3 iron. I just, I would, I'd push the 3 iron like crazy. I just could not understand why, and the 4 iron. And actually, it was funny. A couple weeks ago, I went when people were having the big power assist debate, where I was like, "Well, I'm gonna try to play a daily with no power assist." I turned everything down, but I wrote down all my um, kind of all my settings that I had, and I've been playing with this for probably over a year now, and I didn't even know it, but I have 10% draw bias on my 4 iron and my 5 iron. I'm like, I don't even notice it. But it's the 3 iron. Like I'd put all the draw bias, everything, like because every other club I could get to draw and have a nice tight draw, and those ones it just cuts right, pushes, and I took 3 iron out of the bag. I haven't touched it
I took
since
the
silver.
I took the 3 and the 4 out, but I did it when I was a lot worse than I am now. I
Yeah.
will tell you that. And I traded the 3 and the 4 for adding my gap wedge, and then I put in a 5 hybrid. And I'll tell you what I
Mm-hmm.
learned is I learned to, because I got like a 30 yard gap between my 5 hybrid and my 5 wood.
Mm-hmm.
But my 5 wood is like, on the average course without like huge elevation difference, like at like 242, 245, something like that. But I
Mm-hmm.
figured out how to hit that thing anywhere from 220 to about 250, like almost on command. So
Yeah.
it's I haven't had to worry about that particular gap. But I know I hear a lot of people, complaining about, well, not complaining, but struggling with the longer and mid irons. And I guess do you do anything like, versus a 9 iron in your hand? Like, are you doing anything? What are you doing different? Are you doing anything special with the longer clubs to kind of keep them a little more under control, or?
I'd say in my preferred ball flight is I play a draw in the game. Like I feel like I can control that a lot better than I can a fade. Um, so if like for a long time I'd have like a slight draw, and back when I was a lot less consistent, and there'd be some times where I'm like I know that my game is really really bad in a really bad spot when the ball comes out and it's fading like 10 yards. I'm like because I have no idea where it's going. I've learned to control it a lot more now, but I'd say with the longer irons, I try to draw it more, try to get more kind of roll out of it, like, and I try to play height a lot more. Where I like if I want a low 4 iron to kind of run till the cows come home, I'll just sting it. But if I wanted to kind of stop, I'll either play a cut or I'll play like a high draw. Um, Kind of depending on like where the trouble is, what the green's doing, what kind of
Right.
I'm trying to hit. But I'll over exaggerate the draw and the cut on the longer irons. Um, but the 9 irons and everything, I'm usually I might try to cut a 9 iron, but it's the window of what you can do with the 4 iron or 5 iron, just given the distance and everything. It's so much.
Yeah, once I
Every
get down to like the
everything's on a
seven, the
microscope.
seven, once I get down to like the 7.6, especially, and down to the 5, I've noticed I have to bring my club. I would say when I bring my club back, I bring it more out with the
Mm-hmm.
longer clubs when I come through. Because if I try and take the same swing I do with a 9 iron, it draws like 30 yards. So I have to bring it. I guess kind of, I don't know how the best to explain it, up a little more versus back, on my longer clubs to kind of keep the draw at bay. And it works real well once I get used to it. But it took me a while to kind of figure out how much up and out more do I need to bring, the 5, the 6, the 7 to get the ball flight that I want. And I was just curious if you did anything like that as well.
Yeah, yeah. Like for ball flight wise, like I'll put it in the back of my stance, and I'll hit low low ones I know are going to run. I won't bring that out as much on a course like this with the firm conditions. Like at St. Andrews, I had one. I could hit a 4-iron where it could carry, 210, 215. And then if it lands on the right spot or something like that, it rolls out to like 300 yards. You just can't really control it. So I won't really do it on firm conditions, but soft conditions, I'll play it a lot lower and maybe try to play it into a hill on a green and all that stuff. But for like a 9-iron and everything, like it also depends like what the wind's doing too. If it's especially like off the tee, like if we're playing high winds and I have 30-mile-an-hour headwinds, I'm gonna try to hit that ball as low as I can because I already have a low ball anyway, and I get it to run. But if it's up in the wind, if we have downwind, I'm trying to hit that thing sky high and just let the wind carry it.
Oh yeah, I know the feeling. Like I got this one right here. This is actually kind of a weird yardage. I got this. Well, I got 159 and my 8-iron is 163, and you really can't go. If you go 163, you're off the back, right? But I've got this higher 8-iron that I can hit that I'm gonna try and hit here. I could probably muscle a 9, but I feel like I lose a little control. So let's see if I can actually get this 8-iron to go up high and drop a little short. Now it's a little left, but I think yeah, see, I had the yardage right. Fine.
Yeah, there's like that's something that like it's one of my favorite things to do. Like play with people is I almost play caddy, like because that's what I love about the game is just kind of talking through shots and playing like risk and reward and figuring out what the number is and what you're gonna hit and how you're gonna play a shot is what I love about just golf in general and what drew me to the game. But like I'll be playing with some friends and they'll be confused on a shot on like what they're trying to do, and I try to like play logic with them. I'm like, okay, well, like where's trouble at? What's your miss if you do hit it? If your miss is left. Well, if your miss is left, then you're gone with that club. Why not try to hit this club and try to get a little bit more, a little draw, and think about all the green you got to work with, and that's what I love about it more than anything is. It's just thinking through a shot, talking through a shot. Like I got 133, pitching wedge is 136. I have, long is dead. I'm going to try to cut it a little bit, knowing that it will probably come up a little short and probably leave me a 10 to 15 foot putt, but better than a chip up.
Yeah, so you hear that, everybody? All of that for a 136 yard shot into a green, and then you get that. So
just a little short, but that's what I love about it. That's what really drew me to the game. Nice chip. I don't know if I can just putt. Getting red numbers. Like this one, like lines aren't doing much. I'm gonna play this inside left edge and just hit it with confidence.
Yeah, I mean I saw like half a cup of break at the most on that one.
Yeah, like it's not gonna do much. It's just hit it with authority. This is a fun hole.
Oh yeah,
this is a really fun hole.
Like especially this pin location. I really like this pin location because the red up here is not enough. I think as long as you don't go to the very very tippy top of it, it's not enough to push it all the way back down to the front of the green. Yeah, if you can land it like this top tier, it's going to hit that red and it's going to come back and give you some sort of a putt. Let's see. I'm going to try to. This is just going to be a 15 feet down the hill, a little bit downwind, 188. Playing like 183, 7-iron goes 75, but my irons tend to go a few yards further, so I'm going to try to land it on that top tier, but hit it high enough to where it doesn't, run, kind of like how we just talked about with where you can get those low runners and goes too far, but I'm just going to try to get this thing up in the air. Maybe play a little bit of draw, play it out to the right. Yeah, because you got some room. If you go left of the flag, it's not bad. I mean, you're going right at the damn thing, but that's got to go. Oh, it got up there. Is it stopping? No. What? That came back? That didn't stop. That's unbelievable. Wow. I caught that a little bit too high. So like for me on this one, I would almost like I might aim a tiny bit right, but I'm going mostly at the flag. So that way, if I pull it a tiny bit, I still got 7-8 yards of of room.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's going to the left. More left than I wanted it.
There's like a little amphitheater right here where you can put it off of. And
yeah, I just missed it, but this is not. This is just going to be, let's just flop it up and let it run.
Yep. Great shot.
There they go.
Your short game, those kinds of chips, your textbook. So for everybody watching, that's exactly how you do it.
Yeah, no, I spent a lot of time on the chipping game. Maybe early on, more early on. But yeah, when you're on that chip, like if you were to have what I had and you were to not open the blade, there's no way you could stop this ball.
No.
Best case, you'd be over here.
No shot.
Right.
Yep.
So like, there's just. Yeah, for everybody watching, if you want to know again what one of the differences are with the top players is they have 3 or 4 especially around the green, like for every single club they've got like 3, 4, maybe even 5 different shots they can play.
I think it's also a common misconception. I think you're just looking at, like, I've seen my swing in videos where it's like, feels like I just kind of flick the wrist, but I actually take the club back probably about hip high. So I definitely don't take a full swing, but it's definitely not just like flicking the wrist for sure.
Yeah, I would say I'm probably a little more than hip, but yeah, I mean everybody watching this video can see my swing, but like if you go up past about here and you're looking down, it's going to lose. You can see how, like, when I come down, you can kind of see it jerking a little bit. You could on the first.
Yeah.
If you bring it up here and as you come down, you can sometimes see the shaft kind of jerking. That's the meta picking the tracking back up, and that's what you don't want. You want it to come to about here, and then try and come back through, which is why power assistance is so handy, because on the Q3, if you're doing a full swing and bringing it up behind your head, when you come back down, you're relying on the MetaQuest picking up and processing that tracking.
Yeah.
On the way down at a high speed.
I have seen the videos on Ryan's social media though about the putting, the real life putter thing he's got coming that they're probably, I think they said maybe sometime next year, but it's the prototype. It's really, really cool.
Yeah, that looks
up on X. I think it's Ryan Engel, and he Engel, but he it's really, really cool, and I'd really love to see that implemented in the game. I think it will help in the real life game as well.
Oh, that could be pretty.
Oh yeah, that's it.
Oh, it went a little too far. Okay, that's fine.
Oh, that's a stock lob wedge, 82 yards.
Oh yeah, that's a
money.
Nice full lob wedge for me.
I must hope I don't go too far. I missed it right. That's what I was worried about. It's hitting the down slope right there, but that's fine. Be a lot better if I can, make a putt. I haven't made anything since the front nine.
Oh, stay up.
Wow. Putter's gone cold on me.
Oh, no, I did not see that much break. Okay. Actually, that came out. I meant to put that a little further out to the right, but that's all good. Yeah, we'll take it. Oh, you up there, Ty, with me on the. That was my score when I did the first look around.
Yeah.
The first time I ever played
company. That's awesome.
Oh my gosh, these screens need to disappear. How do I? Oh, let me see. Look over here. Okay, now I can turn. Now I can see it, because like this screen won't go away.
Yeah.
Oh, but yeah, that was a lot of fun. I mean, I guess one final question I have for you is, I mean, we covered a bunch of stuff, but
Mm-hmm.
you know, like you said, you kind of gave if you could give, your one piece of advice. So let me kind of lead you with a question here.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say that you're okay at all aspects of the game. Let's say you're like a +3, +5 handicap or something. You're doing well, but you have good holes, you have bad holes. Say if you shoot 3 or 4 under in a round, it's because you had 8 birdies and 5 bogeys, right? And you're trying to go, okay, well, all of my game is equally good and bad. What is the one part of your game that you would maybe rank them 1 and 2? Like driving, approach, around the green, and putting. Like what would be number one and what would be number two to focus on before anything else?
For people that are like +3 to +5, that
Yeah,
are
I'm thinking good,
still in the
good,
game.
good people who are decent. Not people who are shooting 8s and 9s on a hole. There's a lot to work on there. But I'm thinking about people who
Yeah,
have a good general all around game, but just can't seem to you know put it together, right?
yeah.
And they feel like you know my all around game feels pretty good, but I hit a few bad drives around. I hit a few bad approach shots. I hit some crazy putts. So like they're all
Mm-hmm.
parts of their games are equally bad. What part of the game would you tune up first?
Putting first and foremost is what I'd say is big. I'd say chipping. If you're missing a lot of greens, getting up and down. That's one thing that the elite players do better than everybody else is
Get up and
they,
down.
they have bad days where they go like you're not sticking every approach. I don't. My approach is solid, but there's players in the game that are so much better than that can stick it. Like I look at one of the guys I put with Shock, for example. He can stick it like nobody else, like nobody's business, but he'll also shank it, and he has trouble getting up and down. And like every time, like when I miss a green, I'm thinking like it's look to get up and down, and getting up and down is the biggest thing with going from that +3 and +5 to +8 to +10, getting to that range, and then from then on, it's approach and putting. It all centers around putting, but approach and putting is when you're learning how to score. You're learning how to put it to 15 feet and figure out where you're putting yourself in a good position to make a birdie, and missing, like figuring out what kind of putt you want to have, and like you might have a straight putt if you hit this club, or you can put it here but you'll have a little breaker on this putt, and learning how to score that way. Those are the two big things. Is everything centers around putting though, for sure.
Yeah, and I think I could go with that because it's sometimes I look at my rounds, like I'll have a round where I hit like 4 fairways, but I'll shoot
Mm-hmm.
like 9 under, and then I'll
Yep.
play it again and hit 12 fairways, and I'll shoot 6 under. It's like,
Yep.
what's the difference? And it's like the greens and around the greens. So I think I think you hit the nail on the head when you said, for the elite players and the really good players, when they miss a green, they expect to get up and down pretty much every time. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
you are going to have your random miss, but I'd bet you, you take, say, you top 3 players in the world, if you miss the green, you're thinking there's a decent chance I'm going to make this, depending on where you miss it.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't
knowing where
ever
to
think
miss it.
about trying to make a chip.
Yeah,
I don't
knowing where
ever
to
think
miss it
about
is a
trying to make a chip.
yeah, knowing where to miss it is also key to that too. So they might have better options than players who don't know where the misses are. But
Mm-hmm.
but I would say just like I said, watching you, if you were ever not on the green or whatever, like it was I think you pretty much, I don't even know. Did you even have a? I mean, you did have the bogey on the first hole, but what is
Yeah,
it?
I had 15 of 18 greens and reg.
Yeah, I mean, you
So it
had
was,
that one bogey getting warmed up, and you had some missed greens in here, but they're all pars,
yeah,
right? So I mean, that's the thing. It's just when the really good players miss the green, they're not like sweating it, going, "Oh my God, I'm staring at bogey." They're thinking, "All right, I'm just gonna get up and down, get my par, and I'm gonna move on to the next hole." Right? They're not. I
yep,
wouldn't say. I would say the best players aren't really worried about when they miss a green. They just go, okay, par, move on.
yeah.
At least that's
It's
how
more
they're
so.
thinking.
It's more frustrating than it is like scary. Like, oh my gosh, I'm bringing bogey into play. It's more frustrating. Like, like I'm gonna have to settle for par as opposed to going out and
Right.
thinking I can make a birdie. But like if you go to strokes gained, like I'm 34th in approach and 36th in putting, but everything adds up to fourth right now. So you look at the best players and what they're doing. you can point out who the best players are by just looking at the putting and the approach stats, but that's just getting to the top. But to get to kind of break through that little wall, it's definitely chipping. I might plug in my YouTube here if you don't mind. I got a nice chipping video in there.
Yeah. No, go ahead. No,
videos.
I linked to some of your stuff from there. Yeah, Let It Fly's got some good instructional stuff. Him, Reaper, and Tover's got some stuff. I got some stuff on there. So yeah, there's a lot of good content out there.
But I have a good chipping video talking about different shots and also like the mindset of chips. Like kind of like I said, like I don't like when I look at a chip, I don't try to make a chip. If it goes in, it's great. But I have a radius of I'm just trying to put this thing within 5 feet or within a tap in or whatever. I never try to make a chip. I'm looking at the lines and the contours and what kind of shot I want to play to how can I get this as close as possible.
Yeah, a lot of my chip ins are like accidents. Like I'll hit the chip and I'll be like, oh, I hit it a little too hard. And I'm like, oh shit, it went in. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's one thing I took from the pro players too. Like on the PGA tours, they all say the same thing. Like if I chip it in, it's more so an accident. It's like if we hole one from 150, it's because I missed my spot. So it's less exactly those flags, but yeah, that's kind of the big thing. That's the big thing for sure is approach and putting.
Well, I mean, there you go. You heard it from a number 3 in the world and then former season winner. And yeah, I mean, I guess it depends on what King and C3 do, but even you've improved. I was looking back at previous seasons. I think you go back to 2024. I think you finished like 16th.
Yeah,
like the 2024 fall or something like that, and then it was like 9th, and then I think you did you were leading this season, so even you've improved. I do have one final question for you, and you might not have a great answer for this, but I'm going to ask it anyway. Obviously when you first started out playing this stuff, you weren't that good. None of us were, right?
Oh yeah.
So.
Oh yeah.
And I know there's no secret, and the answer might be time, but how do you go? For people who are maybe starting out, say they've been playing 3 months, it's like, oh, well, I feel like I'm good, but I'm watching these guys come out and beat me by 15, 20 strokes in a round, and it's very disheartening. But maybe they've only been playing for 3, 4, 5 months. What if any was there keys were there to you going from I'm playing this game because I love it and I'm not very good to being one of the best in the world?
Yeah, so it's actually a funny story. Like when I first started playing the game, it was the FedEx Cup playoffs in 23, and I hopped in. One of the first rounds I ever played was at Olympia Fields when they were putting the pins. They were taking the time and putting the pins in the same positions that they were for the same day on each round.
Oh wow!
And I wasn't in, like, I didn't play the season or whatever, so I wasn't in it, but you could still play it. And that was my first experience on pro greens. I shot 16 over par, and I shot 16 over par with a hole out eagle on 16 from 186 yards that I banked off the stands. So it was, but going from that to, I just kind of looked at who was who was the best and kind of like what they were doing and thinking, like, when I got into this game, I knew that I was gonna, like, I'm gonna take it serious. Like I'm thinking I want to get to that spot. Like I was a big gamer like throughout college, and I got into this game while I was in college, and thinking I was kind of looking for a game where I could kind of get obsessed over, and this was it. And it's just like a lot of time. It's still extremely frustrating sometimes, but just seeing kind of how far it's come, but it's more so just because it's fun. I do it because it's fun, and anything that comes with the skill growth or anything like that just comes with having fun with the game. And like I like the challenge that it brings. I like the challenge, like how you guys just see, like, front nine I couldn't miss a putt, back nine I can't make a putt, but it's reading those greens and trying to and just playing golf is what makes it fun. But I think that's about as good of an answer as I could give, is just going from that. Is everything that's come from it is just from having fun.
Yeah, I mean, it does sound like the answer is kind of time, and there's no secret sauce. So for anybody out there listening who's like, oh man, I hope there was some kind of secret I'd learn, it's actually a good thing that there's not one.
Yeah, yeah.
Because if it is, you'd be Like I see. So I used to play what was it, the WGT golf online. It's like on the
Hmm.
computer. They've had it around for 5 6 years, and
Yeah.
people are. It was kind of like the old Tiger Woods, and even if you play the what is it, the PGA 2K25
Yep.
or
They got
whatever, like
2K and EA. Yeah,
people
they
are
got all
going
that
out
stuff
there and
now.
like they're like upset if they don't shoot like 22 under every
I
round,
know.
or
Yeah.
or maybe even less, and I'm like, a lot of people say that this game is, we'll look at this and say, oh, this game is too easy for people, or oh, they must be cheating. And I'm like, go look at every other golf console game ever made. Even the WGT online, the best players, like they're shooting in the 50s every single time in
Hmm.
hard settings. And I'm like, well, yeah, it's a game, but at least you get the full motion. In Golf Plus, and it's fun. And yes, there are players that are good, but what I'm not seeing is I'm not seeing, you know, 2,000 kings and 3,000 C3s and 5,000 let it flies, in this game. It's nice to see. Yes, you three are kind of leading the bar and leading the standard right now, but it's
But it's
nice
going to
to,
change.
yeah,
It's going to change because it's constantly changing. Like Topher had a stronghold on it. It felt like everybody was fighting for second. I think he won like 20 something weeks in a row last year, and it's everybody was playing for
yeah,
second and third, and then after he stopped playing, then King kind of took over. But it was like there was always names kind of in that top five that were circulating where you're thinking like they could come in and get a win at any time, and it really feels like almost like the real PGA Tour where you're looking at it and you're looking at people's scores and you're like anybody can kind of go take it. There's it's really good for the game when there's like 10 plus people that are like they could go out and win a weekly at any time.
yeah. And I know when I first came into Diamond Pro, I remember I snuck in. I finished like, I don't know, T4 and Gold 3. I'm going back a few months now. And I jumped up to like 62nd diamond. I was like, oh, this is great. And then I was like 65th place in the weekly, and like couldn't even break into the top 40 in the daily. And I was just like, man, it is a different world up here. I've gotten a lot
Yeah.
better. I think I finished in the top 10 in the weeklies or close to it the last 2 weeks.
Do you ever feel
Um,
pressure? Like the fourth round comes down, back nine, you're like, oh, I can sneak into the top 10. And you ever
you,
get
you,
like,
you know,
you ever get
not
that feeling?
not really, and I'll tell you why. Because I've been such a big avid real life golfer my entire life,
Hmm.
and just to be honest, even this weekly when I was playing St. Andrews, it's Tuesday night. I think I'm like 17th. I might finish around 20th, I guess, when it's all said and done. Maybe I can stay inside the top 20. Who knows? But I'm still just tickled when I'm playing these courses, though. Seriously, like
Yeah.
just being there and playing St. Andrews, I think I have more fun and enjoyment just playing it, to the point to where I kind of almost forget that I'm playing in a weekly
Yeah.
sometimes. Like
Okay.
I've literally come out of a round and go, oh, that was a really nice round. And I was like, oh, wait, yeah, that was round 2 of the weekly. I totally forgot. I thought I was just
Yeah.
playing some random round. So uh, I would say, so not really. I mean, I will say where the pressure might come in is, let's say in the first 3 rounds, if I'd have been in like 5th place and been shooting lights out, yeah, there probably would
Yeah.
have been a little pressure in round 4. But I think I shot what, 6 or 7, maybe 8 under in the
Yeah.
final round. But I was like in 35th place at the time, and I was just like, all right, let me just see how low I can go, see how high I can get. Like I wasn't going to get up in the 30s with the leaders or anything. So I was just like, let me just see how good. And there was no pressure.
Yeah.
So it was a lot of fun. But like I said, I mean, I picked up this game because I get to play these courses, and I've actually played this
Yeah.
course, Pinehurst No.10. I've played 2 and 10
Okay.
in real life.
Wow.
Um, and just to be able to, play them again, and then play all these other courses that I know I'm never going to be able to play,
Oh yeah.
you know, at least
Like
not
I'm
for,
never gonna be able to get on at Riviera. Like I know that. It's
yeah. I mean, first of all, it's out in California. I
yeah,
mean,
and
hell,
it's
even going to
extremely
Pebble
private.
Beach,
Like
like if you go
it's
to like Pebble Beach and play the 2 or 3 courses there, like that's like a thousands and thousands of dollars
oh
a trip.
yeah,
It's just hard to justify.
it is. It is.
And
It's
I'm just sometimes I'm just giddy when I'm playing, just going, I can't believe I'm actually playing it. And I know it's virtual. This doesn't look quite like real life, but it's damn good.
oh
You know,
it's a great game. It's if you have the mindset that you're playing a video game and trying to have fun with a video game instead of trying to get better like at a simulator. That's where I think everybody gets upset. Like when people are upset at the game, it's because they want it to be something that it's not.
Yeah, I mean that. Well, I mean outside of a simulator, all the other golf games out there are console games. So I mean, like
Hmm.
this is a step closer to
Yeah.
real life than all the other golf games out there, but it falls short of with an actual club and an actual ball.
Hmm.
But like you were talking about, Ryan put out that video with the real putter. They also put out a video. I'm probably going. I don't know. I might be going back 9 months now, a year maybe, where they put out one where they had a build where they had integrated it with um, a simulator. So he was
Hmm.
hitting a real ball with a real golf club,
I
and
remember
when you
seeing
hit
that.
it from inside the simulator and you looked up, it was a virtual landscape, and I was like, that's really cool. But that requires you to have a simulator, and then there's a lot of
Yeah,
expense
a
there.
lot
So I
of
don't think
lot of
that's
extra
gonna
stuff.
take off and balloon
It's yeah,
anytime soon. But
for
it's
sure.
cool that they're working on some
Oh
of that
yeah.
stuff. But I mean, I guess same question for you. Like, do we look at your scores and stuff like that? You're constantly playing good, and you can't help but ask the question. It's like, is he nervous when he's playing? Like when he's in the lead, or is he just free willing it, no nervousness at all, or you feel a little pressure or anything?
I'd say like when the season comes down to it, yeah. Like when you're getting into the like the playoffs and rounds that like I remember like when I won the fall season, it's just like when there's stuff up for grabs. Like it's so cool because I got a signed Rory McIlroy Tour Championship flag hanging in my room for playing this game. Like it's
Yeah,
and I'm
yeah, that
like
was cool.
when I'm like I'm oh my gosh, dude, like I'm looking at like everybody in like the top 10 and figuring out the points. I have like a little Excel spreadsheet sitting in front of me like, okay, so and so finished here, so and so did this, and okay, like where do I need to fall in this weekly? Like, yeah, stuff like that. But it's like I still remember the first weekly I won was at East Lake when I picked the game up like 3 months before, and I was in like and talk about like per diamond, and I snuck in. I was in there for like 4 or 5 weeks, and that was when like Topher was killing it, and I get in like the last like 4 holes at East Lake, dude. Like I was shaking. Oh my god, I was so nervous. I ended up going in the water on 15, and then on the par three, and then I ended up birdieing like 16, and then birdieing 18. Like we ended up, it was a T1, but oh my god, I was so nervous, and like that's kind of like when you kind of take a step back and realize like you getting those feelings from a video game is really
It's
it's like
really cool.
really really
Yeah.
neat. It's so neat, but not really anymore. I don't really feel like I have anything like left to prove. Like when I like last week, like when I went out to like Fields Ranch, like we were playing Fields Ranch, and I won it, and it was like just another tally, but it's cool to
Yeah.
kind of see them add
Definitely
up
less
over
pressure
time.
earlier in the season.
Oh yeah, and like looking back and like it's like another win. It just kind of like stacks up, and but it's cool to kind of look back. And your website's been great to kind of be like, oh, how many events have I played? Like how many like weekly wins do I have? Like it's a great website, and just being able to kind of like look back and think like, wow, like I've well, done some cool stuff in this game. Like but it's I don't really feel the pressure much anymore. No, I do in match play because I feel like it's me versus someone else, and it's I feel like I do have like something to lose there, where it's like I don't saying I have something to lose is a bad phrase, but it's not just me versus the course. It's like, oh, I feel like I have to like prove myself over like I'm better than someone else or someone's like better than me or whatever, and I'm a terrible match play player, which is it's a real shame. I get whooped in match play,
Well,
but
although
it's
although for those that don't know, Let It Fly and I were partners in the Ryder Cup,
did
and I
went
do
nuts.
believe we put on two pretty dominating
Oh yeah, we complemented
performances.
each other very well. Our games really matched up pretty well, so that was fun. I actually got my VR or I got my Ryder Cup
I got
magnet.
mine today.
It was so cool.
Yeah, that was pretty neat. All right, man, I'll let you go, but yeah, just a quick recap. That was around with Let It Fly. I know it's a long video, so if you watch the whole thing,
Yeah, thanks
cool.
for
But
watching.
lots of good conversation. I hope everybody learned something, and maybe we'll do it again down the line sometime when you are the new number one.
Love to get some new stuff to talk about, but if anybody has any questions, you can hit me up on Discord or add me in game or whatever. I'm open to anything. So,
Awesome. Well, there you go. There's your number 3 in the world in pro. Let It Fly. Thanks so much for your time, buddy. I appreciate it.
no, thank you. It's fun.